Good evening, my name is Cole Kendall, and this is my second video for my final project in the Cybersecurity 428 class. I'm going to be covering the recognition of phishing emails and how we can go ahead and avoid those things when they happen. So in 2022, nearly $8.8 billion were lost to fraud. This was in a report according to the FTC. We can check it right here. So this isn't just for email scams, this is for scams in general, but if we go down here, we can see that social media and more technical routes are being used more and more each day to take money from people in a malicious and fraudulent way. So the main focus of this video will be about phishing in the email variety, right? So I'm going to be using this website as a reference, but the types of frauds that go here, they're very real, but I would say that there's bits and pieces we want to take from this, and the labeling they use to describe different attacks doesn't necessarily always happen. There's very nuanced ways that a phishing attempt could happen that aren't just, a Dropbox scam, a HR scam, a PayPal scam. There's more ways than just these, but they are very common, and some of them are quite creative, as we could check this one right here. Particularly, I can think is something to be aware of. We can see here that an email was made to our victim with very interesting choices of spaces and commas. We see here that they have a download link, which is an instant red flag, and we can see here that the greetings is quite generic, and that if we look here, they really want the user to worry about a bill. The big thing, if you see something like this, is there is a download link for a bill, and so I guess this could be the receipt, but why would you want to check the data here when if you have an account that you actively use to make transactions on, why couldn't you check it on that there instead of pulling a download link from the person emailing you? This very well is a phishing scam. This is highlighted by the website, but this isn't how you want to check your data, especially if this is an actual company you work with. So, things to take away: a download link from somebody that says that you owe money to, just go check their website or their panel that they give to you to check. Very likely you don't owe any money. This is a scam. Once again, ignore this. We're just going to look at this right here. So, as they describe here, this looks like a legitimate email. It's generic, but it's Outlook. It doesn't look like it has too many issues, except that there's a link here. And once again, as I said in the one above, you can just check the account yourself for what they're describing. If you're technically savvy, you don't really need the email to tell you what's going on, if you can just go check the panel you're assigned to. And this one right here, they describe that this link does not actually represent what you're going to be going to when you click on it. They say to just hover over it and see what the tooltip says, and that works, but why don't you just go check what they're saying on the email yourself and go to the website instead of using the link that abstracts a lot of the work and, potentially a lot of the mishaps that could come along with clicking on the link. So I don't think it's entirely clear here, but let me tell you some things that I know about these emails that I've witnessed in the past. But the first thing we want to identify is this is definitely from somewhere outside the United States asking for USD, and it's clear that they couldn't even capitalize or not capitalize, but hold the shift key when they type the dollar value, that, or they added a space here, and so they want 4 million, and they didn't put a space here. But as you can see, the English is quite poor, and it's very much a scam. I don't know what I need to say actually, other than, oh, what happens sometimes is scammers will actually send an image of the message. And why they do this is the image can be hosted on their servers. And so when you open the email, there is a request made from the link that you have in your email where the image is shown, and then the people who are hacking will know that you opened up the email. Small detail I just wanted to say, but it's normally a dead giveaway that it's a scam though when those images come through. But yeah, poor grammar, bunch of spaces were not needed, generic addressing, definitely a scam. Although you can kind of tell from a mile away just by reading the contents itself. Google Doc spam, okay, or scam. Okay, so this is actually a legitimate one. I did say ignore the whatchamacallit, ignore the label, but this is kind of a common one actually. Google Docs email. So this is effectively using Google's Office suite to perform a hack, and so because because Gmail is so common, so ubiquitous, these sort of technically catered emails are pretty prolific when you have an email, when you have a Google email. So PayPal scam, same thing as the first. You see the link, just go check it on your panel. You don't need to click a link. They do talk about, when there's a common sort of service people use, you can cater scams to prey on people that way. HR, once again, check your panel. Go talk to the person at the office. Dropbox, probably the same thing. Well, we're going to go to the unusual activity, and then I think we'll wrap up. So unusual activity scams. This one's interesting because these are supposed to be used by the service you're signed up to, and whenever you have someone fraudulently trying to sign into your account, your email is notified. But what if they tailored an email to make it look like you're being signed into, and then the link that is there allows you to go and report that this is not who it is? Well, that link is malicious, and so what people do is they will say, hey, someone tried to sign into insert device you have here, and do you need to report this? And so you click the link. So once again, you can probably check your panel, but if I'm being honest, not a lot of panels have this this functionality outside the email. So being aware of that is quite important. So there's not a whole lot you can do except just make sure that the email is signed by a legitimate service, that the address is legitimate. As you can see here, they're inconsistently using underscores and dashes to space out their stuff, so that's a good indicator it's not good. Yeah, that's that.